Why is assessing ecosystem health so complex? Imagine trying to judge how healthy a living organism is just by looking at it. Now, think about doing that for an entire ecosystem, which is made up of many different parts working together. That's what makes assessing ecosystem health so tricky. Ecosystems include plants, animals, microbes, soil, water, and climate. These parts are always changing and interacting in ways that are hard to track. Human activities like farming, building cities, and pollution add even more layers of complexity. One big challenge is figuring out what health really means for an ecosystem. And like humans, ecosystems don't have a clear way to say they are healthy or sick. Different people might want ecosystems to be full of wildlife, produce lots of food, or bounce back quickly after a fire or flood. So, what counts as a healthy ecosystem depends on what we value most. This makes it hard to set a single standard for all ecosystems everywhere. Scientists try to measure ecosystem health using different methods. They look at indicator species, plants or animals that react quickly to changes. If these species are doing well, it might mean the ecosystem is healthy. They also use composite index systems that combine data about water quality, soil, and living organisms. But choosing the right indicators is tough because ecosystems are so different. For example, a species that signals health in a forest might not work in a city park. Another complication is the size of the area being studied. An ecosystem might seem healthy in a small patch but could be struggling when looked at across a larger landscape. Time also plays a role. Ecosystems naturally change with the seasons, weather, and disturbances like storms or droughts. These natural shifts make it hard to tell if an ecosystem is truly healthy or just going through a normal cycle. Urban ecosystems show these challenges clearly. They are made up of natural parts and human influences, like pollution and land development. When assessing these areas, scientists look at how much energy flows through the system, how many different species live there, how well it can recover from stress, and what benefits it provides to people. All these factors are interconnected, making the assessment more complicated. Because ecosystems are so diverse and constantly changing, scientists need to gather many types of data. They measure things like carbon and water use, pollution levels, and landscape patterns. They then combine these measurements into frameworks that try to give a full picture of how healthy an ecosystem really is. These frameworks help us understand how human actions and natural processes affect the environment and what we can do to protect it. In the end, assessing ecosystem health is a complex task because of all these different parts, changing conditions, and human influences. It requires combining many kinds of information from ecology, chemistry, geography, and social sciences. Only by looking at the whole picture can we get a clear idea of how well an ecosystem is doing and what steps are needed to keep it thriving for the future.